It's no surprise if you want to make real money, if you want to build wealth, you have to invest into the stock market. Most financial analysts and experts would agree that the stock market has averaged over 10% return since its beginning, since it opened. Even financial experts like Dave Ramsey claim that you can expect to average 12% return by investing into quality mutual funds. Don't get mad at me. I didn't say 12%. Dave is the one that said 12%. Even though many people know this, they still don't invest in the stock market, primarily because they don't know how to start. They don't know where to invest. So a lot of people, a lot of financial experts will recommend to buy an index fund.
Buy an index fund.
Put it in an index fund. And you should have some money in index funds.
Even some financial YouTubers that I respect and I know that you watch also recommend this same advice. Invest into index funds.
Invest in index funds.
Invest in what's called an index fund.
I talked about this in a previous video about Warren Buffett and how Warren built his wealth. Warren says, as I've already shared, he encourages everybody to buy an index fund right now, but the truth is that Warren didn't build his wealth buying index funds. The whole point of that video that I wanted to drive home, and I want to drive home in this video, is just to open your eyes to other ways that you can invest outside of the stock market. In fact, I want to share 9 different things that I invested my money into that has made me more than index funds. And make sure you stick around to number 9, because number 9 is something that I've never shared publicly. So find out what these 9 investments are right now. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is Wealth Hacker Labs, a channel dedicated to teaching you new ways to grow wealth that is not taught to you in schools or by your parents. I am your gracious host, Jeff Rose, and what we are talking today is investing, because I love to invest. I love to make money. Now, as we were talking about, a lot of financial experts would suggest to buy an index fund. Now, is this horrible advice?
No, N-O. No!
Absolutely not. Investing into an index fund is not a bad investment. In fact, if you are investing into an index fund and that's all you're investing into, you are already far ahead of the curve, because most people just don't invest. So give yourself a golf clap. One of the most common index funds that majority of the population invest into is the Vanguard S&P 500 fund. This thing is so big, it has over $492 billion invested into it. I shared previously how the stock market has averaged over 10% and how Dave Ramsey says that you'll make over 12% investing into high quality mutual funds. Well, the Vanguard S&P 500 fund has averaged just over 11% since inception, since this thing was created. So the 9 investments that I'm sharing with you today, they would have had to make me over 11%. And that's why I'm excited to share these investments, because they've made me way more than 11%. Some have made me like 2 billion%, 2 gajillion. Or maybe not that much, but you'll get the point. All right, the first investment is my blog, goodfinancialsense.com. So with that blog, with that investment, that was buying a domain, that was buying a WordPress theme, that was buying a logo, and then a pretty header for my site. All in, I think I invested under $700 or maybe $800 at the beginning. But the whole point is, like, I invested into it. I talked to so many people that want to start a blog like mine. They want to start a website. They want to start an e-commerce store, and yet they don't take any steps to do anything about it. You know, one of the simplest things that you can do if you want to start a blog is buy the domain. Go to GoDaddy.com, buy a domain, spend that $12, and at least you've taken that first step. Because if I hadn't have done that many years ago, I wouldn't have made the millions. That's what I said, millions that my blog has made me. And the reality nowadays is that you can buy a domain, a theme, a hosting plan for under $200 to get going. If you don't believe me, check out the link below. I'll have a link to Bluehost, just a popular hosting company that allows you to get a domain and your hosting plan for dirt cheap. No more excuses. The second investment has made me more than index funds are online courses. I've spent anywhere from $47, $97 a course on up to $3,500 for one course. That's right, $3,500. On the lower side, one of the best courses I bought was $197. It was from Michelle, Making Sense of Sense, and she has a blog where she's making six figures per month, and she made a course that shared how she made $50,000 a month from affiliate marketing. Her course, Making Sense of Affiliate Marketing, was $197, and it showed everything that she did to get to that point where she was making 5-6 figures a month from her blog. It was $197, and it was filled with tons of helpful information. Now, right now you're watching my YouTube channel, and YouTube is something that it took me a long time to figure out, but I didn't figure it out on my own. I invested into courses to help me understand how YouTube works, the cameras, the lighting, everything that you need to do to stand out from other content creators. On YouTube courses alone, I have invested over $6,097. Some of the best courses I bought were James Wedmore had a course. This is I think one of the first courses I bought called Video Traffic Academy. And it outlined everything I needed to get started producing videos for YouTube. From there, I bought a YouTube course by Brian Dean from Backlinko. He also has an awesome YouTube channel. It helped me when I re-emerged my channel a couple years ago. Most recently, I bought a YouTube course from Dan Locke. If you're watching one of my videos, chances are you've watched one of Dan's videos because his YouTube channel has exploded the last few years. And this guy's doing something right. So I'm going to invest the $2,500 or so into his course to just learn some of his trade secrets that I can apply to my YouTube channel. All right, the third investment that has made me over that 11% ROI is Facebook ads. Now with Facebook ads, my first introduction to running them was to promote my course, the Online Advisor Growth Formula, that is targeted to financial advisors that are trying to grow an online marketing presence and also grow their business through online marketing. So with that, I didn't have a lot of email addresses from financial advisors, so one of the ways I sought to reach them was through Facebook ads. Now at a time, I can't remember exactly how much I was spending, but it was anywhere from $25 to $50 per day trying to drive leads to either a live webinar or a lead magnet that would then get them on our email list so that we could promote an upcoming webinar. What I do know is that course went on to make me over $225,000, and with Facebook ads, I didn't spend but a fraction of that. What I do know is that for every dollar that we were spending, we were getting back $2 to $3 on return. Like, it was just like printing money. If you have a product that you want to market, you want to sell, you've got to look into Facebook ads. Two other guys that I've featured on the channel before, Mike and Bobby from Laptop Empires, actually have a course where they show you how to run Facebook ads and how you can grow a Facebook ad agency trying to target small businesses that are doing like I was doing and growing their business, but using Facebook ads primarily. So if you're looking for a side hustle, a way to make good money, you should take a look at their course because they will show you exactly not just how to run a successful Facebook ad campaign, but also how do you find new clients? How do you find small businesses that you can market your services to? All right, the fourth investment is one that I'm a little embarrassed to talk about because if you've been on the channel for a while, this is an investment that I used to kind of badmouth a little bit. I used to say like it's not just anything you should mess with, but all these people are saying like, oh, you gotta invest in this because you're gonna miss out. You're gonna make so much money. You're gonna like retire when you're like 17 because you're gonna become a multi-millionaire. I had a lot of fun with these people in the comments, just going back and forth. But this is something that I finally put some money in when I started the Grow Your Dough Challenge, where I was investing into different investment platforms. So number 4 is cryptocurrency. Yes, cryptocurrency. Yes, it has made me more than the stock market, has made me more than index funds. So I put $1,000 into a Coinbase account. I split it up between some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and some other cryptos. This is how much I don't know about cryptocurrency. But I do know is that the $1,000 I put in has more than tripled, and we're not even a year into it. So it's up over 300% return, which last time I checked is more than 11%. So yes, I made more thus far in cryptocurrency than in index funds. I've said it right now. It is public. Can't take it back now. All right, investment number 5, lucky 5, is investing into my street cred. Into street cred, which I mean is my professional designation, which is a certified financial planner. Most people just assume that when I became a certified financial planner that like my old company paid for that? Like, no, I paid for it. I paid for it out of my own pocket. And what people also didn't know is that once you pass the CFP exam, which is the hardest test I've taken in my life, people just assumed that I got a pay raise because of it. And that is entirely not true at all. False, not true. That is a lie. But what the CFP designation did do was that it gave me street cred. It's just kind of like if you're going to an accountant, would you want to go to a ordinary accountant or would you want to go to a CPA? Now, for me, I want to go to a CPA because that just sounds more important to me, just like the CFP designation. Now, earlier on in my career, the CFP designation helped me land more clients over some competitors that were not certified financial planners. Now, in the online space with my blog, the CFP has allowed me to get featured into sites such as CNBC, Forbes, Fox Business, Business Insider, a slew of these major media sites that only want to talk to you if you are a CFP. There's no question I've got back all the return on my investment of getting the CFP designation. I mean, this thing has opened up so many doors that otherwise wouldn't have had I not gone through the effort of taking that stupid test that I just don't even want to think about anymore. So we're moving on to number 6. So number 6 is actually investing into the stock market. We're just not buying index funds, but what we are buying are individual stocks. Now, most of my stock market investments are individual stocks. That's just the way that I roll. I used to buy mutual funds. I still have some mutual funds, a few ETFs, but a majority of what I own right now are on individual stocks. Now, I haven't bought a lot of stocks, so I want to pretend like I'm a professional stock trader. Actually, it's been years since I have purchased my last stock. Some of the stocks I've invested over time are Under Armour, Facebook, Visa, just to name a few. And I've purchased these in my Roth IRA. I purchased these in my joint account with my wife. And when I looked at the return on these individual stocks, so in one account, I'm double what you'd expect to return on an index fund. The other account, I'm up almost triple. Now, do I make money on every single stock investment? Absolutely not. But the ones that I have picked, the winners, have made me more than the losers. And for me personally, I'm comfortable purchasing individual stocks because I can stomach the risk whenever the stock market goes into the crapper. Now, if you can't handle that, then that's why index funds might be good for you. But for me, I like buying individual stocks. Number 7 is one that I often have to kind of laugh about because it's just something that I just never imagined I would spend this amount of money on this thing. So number 7 is a website design, or I guess I should say a website redesign. So with my blog, Good Financial Sense, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that the initial investment was about $500, $600 that I spent on the domain, a blog header, a logo, all that good stuff. Well, after growing the blog for several years, it got to a point where it needed a facelift. It needed something that was just fresh, that was modern looking. And at the time, my book, Soldier of Finance, was getting ready to come out. So I wanted a site that really represented who I felt I was at the time. So I met this website designer, and the quote that he gave me was around $8,000 for a website redesign. Now, keep in mind, like, that is a lot of money. And in fact, that is more money than both of my first 2 cars combined. Granted, one was a 1998 Chevy Lumina, and the other one was a Grand Am, but that's a whole other story. But still, $8,000 for a website redesign. Like, that just was something really, really hard to digest, but I knew it was something that I needed. And the cool thing was, like, after that design went live, like, I just remember all these opportunities coming to me, whether it was because of being found in search or just the fact that I had a site that looked like I was legit. So that design was live for several years, and it got to another point where, guess what? I needed another website redesign. So on that website redesign, it also was around $8,000. So we're talking about $16,000 on just the look of a site. So yes, that is a lot of money, but the return on that investment, as I mentioned earlier, the blog has made me millions. So investing $16,000 on something that is returning that much more in return, I mean, it's not even an issue. I want to give a quick shout out to Greg Wilnaw from Wilnaw Designs. Greg was the brainchild behind the second redesign on Good Financial Sense, and he's also behind the design on Wealth Hacker Labs. Check out Greg Wilnaw at Wilnaw Designs. A big shout out, Greg. All right, number 8 is something I've mentioned before and something that I'm a big believer in is investing into coaching, or in this case, investing into a business coach. This was about 8 or 9 years ago. I invested, I think it was around $7,000 or $8,000 in my first business coaching program, which was called the Strategic Coach. Now that was the most amount of money, I guess, besides the website design that I ever invested into something that was not really tangible. Like, it was coaching. It wasn't anything I could sink my teeth into. I couldn't put it in a pretty box and put a bow on it. I was just paying for somebody to tell me what to do and what not to do. Like that took a little getting used to. And for many, you just don't get coaching. Like, why would I invest into coaching? Like, I'm already self-motivated. Like, I'm already energized. I got this. I don't need a coach. So what is the ROI? So with the ROI on that business coaching program, within 3 years, I more than 3x'd my revenues. When I joined that coaching program, I was making about $250,000, and within 3 years, I more than tripled it. Now, 7 years later, I have more than 10x'd what I was making. Like, that's how much of an impact, how much of an ROI that coaching has had on my life and my business. So yeah, I'm kind of a believer in coaching. It is well worth the investment. All right, we're to the last one. This is number 9, and number 9 is the one that I shared at the beginning of this video. Like, this is something I have never shared publicly. I don't really know why, just something I guess I never felt the need to share, but I'm sharing it now. So what is number 9? What is the investment that I made? Number 9 was investing into a ghostwriter. That's right. So I have a book called Soldier of Finance. You can see the nice, pretty poster behind me. Do you see it? Do you see it? There it is. There it is. Right there. Now, when most people hear ghostwriter, they immediately conclude that you didn't write the book. It's not your stories. It's all made up. It's not real life. And that is furthest from the truth. And it took me a while to truly understand that. So for me, I was already working on the book. I want to say about 40% done, but I got to a point where I just didn't have the expertise, the ability to tie it all together. And I was stuck. Been working on the book for like almost 2 years, and I feel like I wasn't making any progress. And I started talking to other business entrepreneurs that I respected, and everybody was saying, like, you need to hire a ghostwriter, like somebody that's going to help you take your thoughts, take your ideas, and put it into your book, into your life story. So I was referred to a ghostwriter and invested $8,000 into finishing my book. And when I had struggled to finish this thing, like in 2 years, it was within 90 days, so 3 months, the book was done. So how did that look like? Like, how did it work? What I did was, with this ghostwriter, we would get on Skype, and we had, I think it was like 7 or 8 calls where we would talk for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and he would just ask me a lot of questions about my story, my beliefs, my experience. And then he took all of that, and he took what I already had, and he finished the manuscript, where I finally had a book done. So once again, it took me 2 years to get like 40% done, and then 3 months, 90 days later, the book was complete because I invested $8,000 into a ghostwriter. And nowadays, there are done-for-you services that will help you finish a book and get it published. There's a site called ScribeWriters that I think you can pay anywhere from $10,000 on up to $100,000, depending on what your goals are, what your budget is, and whether you have a book in you to get it done. And I'm really grateful I had the financial resources to invest the $8,000 into that ghostwriter, because if I hadn't, all I would have had then was a really, really good book idea instead of having the published book. And being a published author, just like the CFP designation, has once again opened up so many doors. Like, now you're just not a blogger or just a CFP, but you're also a published author. And it's still a big deal nowadays. So if you're interested, you're thinking about it, and you're stuck, consider hiring and investing into a ghostwriter. So which of these 9 investments intrigues you the most on how you might be able to invest your money or your time? Is it starting a blog? Is it investing into business coaching? Is it a ghostwriter? There are so many different ways that you can accelerate your wealth. And that's what we love talking about here on the channel, is hacking your wealth. How do you build your wealth? How do you grow your wealth exponentially faster than everybody else out there? Well, the first thing that you do is that you invest into different things other than index funds. I hope these 9 different options, these 9 different things that I've invested into has opened the door to other things that you can invest your money into to help accelerate your wealth. Until next time, this is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, your life, and only you can make it awesome. Peace.